This is one I put together for a guy a couple months ago, and he's had non-stop problems with it. He's already replaced the video card, so like I don't know. It just didn't go together correctly the first time for him when he tried to do it himself, and ever since then I've been chasing gremlins for him. So now we're swapping the motherboard. Alright, so we're gonna try and replace this motherboard in under an hour. We're gonna see what happens here. Got a lot of little things. The customer originally brought this computer in to have me correct some issues that they made when they were building it together. So far, the customer has replaced the video card, and I've gone through and tried to do absolutely everything I can to make sure this computer is running as well as it can, and it still just starts crashing randomly out of nowhere. So today we're going to be swapping the motherboard that's in there for this one, which I believe is actually identical. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see how long it takes. This one's got a nice little PCI release button on it, so you press this button here, it actually releases that. Very few motherboards have that feature, but it's very welcome, especially when you're getting the cards that are this size. This 4080. Set that thing over there. Disconnect all of our SATAs. Pull out our speaker. RGB header. You gotta actually use a tool. Yeah, it's a great feature on motherboards. Come on, I can't. Like, this is in such an awkward place that. There we go. USB. USB. It's a fan header. And finally, front panel. We got our USB 3. We have our USB-C. 24-pin power. RGB, which that'll stay with the board when we pull it off. That's our 12 volt, 12 volt. That's going to come off with it. All right, let's see. Let's see how she do. I swear, if I take this computer apart and I find that there's a post grounding against this motherboard, and what's happening is it's like the environment they have it is just hot enough where it expands, I swear, like, that's going to be hilarious if that's what this problem is. Also, the assortment of screws used to put, like, to install this motherboard is quite interesting already. Yeah, space is cool, man. It's also absolutely terrifying to think about. Yeah, exactly. Like these, like this is some of these screws are right, some of these are not, for sure. But as long as he hasn't, like, I'm just interested to see if there's like standoffs behind behind the motherboard.
I remember that.
Okay. Good to know.
But I didn't have her password, so I couldn't go any further.
Yeah, now we do. Where did that go? There it is. Alright. Out we come. That was interesting. Alright. I don't see anything that would have been grounding on the back of this. All of the standoffs look like they're in the right place except for this one, which just came off with the board. Oh, you know what? Huh. Yes, it did come with it, but I'm going to show something which might actually be the reason this thing is not working correctly. I'll show you guys here in a second. Let me get this off of here. I think I actually might have found the culprit for what his problem is. So the paint they put on this stuff to cover the integrated circuits isn't just for show. Like, motherboards aren't black or green. Well, the green is unpainted, but like, they're basically there to cover a copper layer of circuits that run all across the board. Let's get enough of that on there. And that isn't just for show. It's there for a reason. It's there to keep you from making the mistake of, you know, putting a screw in the wrong place and grounding it out. But when that happens, right, it's not paint, but that's the easiest way for me to describe it. It's a thermal insulating compound. It's a non-conductive material, but that will create a short, and that will create an arc if there's anything even close to it. So yeah, you don't want that. So if when you're installing a motherboard, you pull off some of this coating, you can run into an issue where you're actually messing with all of the power that literally runs. Like, actually, I'm looking at this. It looks like there's a power run that runs just like that. Yeah, like all of this stuff is like, this is all a problem. All of this. That looks like that's just a straight up just piece of solder. That's interesting. Yeah, I think I found the problem that this guy was having. Looking at the rest of the board, I'm not seeing any issues, but right there, that is no bueno. So let's get this off of there and get this new board installed. Hopefully this will correct his issue. Oh yeah, no, this motherboard is like, we're replacing it, so I'm not super concerned, but I don't think he's going to get his money back for this if he's going to try and warranty it. Because as soon as they see that, they're going to be like, improper installation. But it looks like it's an identical board, so we'll double check the back of it just to make sure there's no problems. We'll get the last of this stuff moved over, including his SSDs and stuff. What is P-back? Alright, all of these, are these the same board? They are not the same board. They're similar. They are not the same. So, let's move this out of the way. Just lift that, shift that slightly. Yes. I typically refer to those as ID10T errors. Oh, there's so many peels I gotta pull off of here. Let's get... You know what? Before I do this, ID10 tier, like you've never seen that before? Yeah, they're the Lee and Lee. Their specific ones. Font. Let's make it nice and big. So you have an ID 10T error. That's an ID 10T error. All right, let me set this. I don't. This thing is so freaking big. All right. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let's see what else this guy had on this. Because I don't think he was actually using... I don't think he actually used any of the M2 stuff on this, but we're going to check it. Because I've made that mistake once before. I sent someone's hard drive, their SSD, off to a manufacturer because they said, no, I don't have an SSD. And I said, okay, I believe you. So nothing there. Yeah, I'd never heard that that error code that you just gave me before. It's the first time I heard that. Alright, that one's empty as well, so now you don't have to take it off. Alright, let's pull our RAM. Get our RAM moved over. Alright, let's do all of these peels so this doesn't become an issue later. Yeah. Like, I'm old, but I've never heard that before. So that's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. Eight peels on this one motherboard. Oh. 9 peels on this motherboard. Oh, hold on. We got the full 10. 10 peels. Hey, I've seen, like, legitimately, I've seen someone do that. Like, they put a coffee mug in it. Let's do the right thing for this. Clean up this thermal paste. All right. Let's get this thermal paste off of here and replace it. Off of there. Let's do it. Do it here. Doing it live. Core i9 13900KF. What's going on, Frank's Red Hotter Potter? Alright, let's spread this out now. Nope, this what I want to use. What's this? Let's spread this out a little bit. Yeah, just use the stuff that it comes with. It'll work just fine. I just want to make sure I'm getting a nice even coat on this thing. And not using nearly as much as he had on there. Because I'm doing most of the work that the cooler's going to do as soon as I put it on there. But at least this way I know it's evenly spread across everything. So basically, just so you guys can see, all I did is I put some peas of thermal paste on there, and then I just took a tool and I spread it out a little bit. And once I have it spread out, the actual mechanical pressure of tightening down this cooler will spread out the rest of it. And as always, I get people asking me, how far do you tighten these? You tighten them until they stop turning. And as soon as they stop, you stop. You don't want to over tighten these guys. It's the last thing you want. 2, 3, 4. All done. Alright, so this post. So I think the main problem is that the post that the guy put in there. Let's see if I can get one of these out here. If you do have a Torx screwdriver, yeah, you could do that, but most people aren't going to have that. You, of course, would. Knowing what you do for a living. So, alright. I will show this to you, and then I'll explain to you why this guy messed this up even worse than he originally thought. So, we have 2 standoffs for a motherboard. This is the one he had in there. This is the proper one. You can see that the one he had in there has the centering hole, which is designed to go through the center hole on a motherboard, which is a little bit larger, versus this, which doesn't have that centering hole. So when he tried to put it in there and tighten it down, he was basically just stripping the bottom of his motherboard. Poor guy. And that's not something, unless you take the motherboard out, you're actually going to see. Should have another one. My hobby has nothing to do with my job. Uh-huh. This is me believing you. Find a skill set that I can work on anywhere, and I came across constructing computers. Yeah, that's something you can work on almost anywhere. As long as it isn't raining, you know. Boom. And we got another standoff in there. Who cares if it's a different color? You're never going to see it. Now my big concern with this is we're going to see how well all of these cables that were originally managed end up lining up here. So that should be fine. That should be fine. This looks like it might just be like a generational update on this. So let's line this back up in the camera. Oh, that's also fun. Oh, and a screw floating in there. Be everything. Let's line it up. There we go. One. Two. Three. Again, random screws, but no. This guy, his screws back. Just in case they have some sentimental value to him. Which I don't think they do, but three. That's the one I want to try to avoid using if I can. Well, that doesn't fit in there at all now. That's in there now, and these are the wrong thread pitch. Oh, that means I need to pull the screws from a personal collection here. Something with the correct thread pitch. Which it doesn't look like I have any anymore. Yeah, it's my job. It's my business. Been doing this for, talking to a guy about it this morning, almost 20 years now. That is in there. Alright, so that's everything. That's his motherboard replaced in under an hour. Let's see how she do. Yeah, it's the smallest little video card anyone ever did see. Alright, this guy is... What was that song from back in the day? The little yellow itsy bitsy yellow bikini, whatever. That's what this video card is. that, the smallest one that money can buy, right? Right, guys? Itsy bitsy 3060, something like that. Is that how it went? All right, so now after moving this over, very long post, no picture. All right, so hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I stream daily on Twitch from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you ever have a question or concern about your computer, and you just want to see if you can get an answer, swing by my Twitch channel. I'm usually there live. I can either myself or one of my community members will be able to answer your question. So stop by, hang out, and maybe learn a thing or two.